Well, okay, so I knew eventually this day was going to come. I didn't know when. So here we are, way quick. I thought a video like this was going to happen probably about 2021, maybe the holidays or first quarter when we have an end of the year and the world starts to calm down and we can all forget 2020. So this video is about revised dual lands. Before we get into the video, obviously everybody knows I have a very, very substantial position in revised dual lands. And again, if you don't believe me or if you're curious on what my position in revised dual lands looks like, at least from a year ago, you can go Alpha Investment Space, revised or something. You can find the video where I show my revised dual land collection from about a year ago. It's obviously inflated quite, probably another 20-30%, but gives you an idea about the size of it. So let's get into revised dual lands. I always told everybody I firmly believe the indicator of the vintage legacy health of old school Magic was always the revised dual lands. That was the cornerstone. Anybody who wants to march in that direction and go into the old era, one of the first things you do is you build a playset, or at least one of each, of revised duels. So usually most people in the old school world, they want to have a playset. So the 40 revised duels, 4 of each, 10 different revised duels. And that's always the barometer of the health of the direction of the old school cards. Now, we've noticed something very, very strange going on. And I'm going to give you a couple different conspiracy theories, and I'll let you guys make your own decision. I'm kind of curious what the comments are going to kind of point to on what you all think is the real reason. Number one, a lot of people are getting very irritated and angry on Wizards of the Coast with the flashy printings, the raising of the prices, double masters on the market for $350 a box, VIP packs pushing over $100 a pack now. I think the cheapest on eBay is like 90 plus tax, so it's about $96 a pack. So the prices on that crap is just, everybody's, it's going to tank, we're going to wait, and it didn't happen. So there's a lot of irritation and frustration towards Wizards of the Coast, Magic, and the rising prices, which is actually, that's a very valid reason to be frustrated and upset. Can't really argue with that. So people believe a lot of the money is going to start avoiding this, and the flow of money is going to start shifting. So going into revised dual lands, we're seeing early indicators of, right now, the buy list prices have gone up between 10 and 40%. Like, for example, even revised Underground Sea, which is the most expensive one. This card was at the low, 6 months ago. The buy list was $200, and that's for near mint to mint. And it was $125 for MPHP condition. It was terrible. And today, literally 6 months later, we're seeing a huge shift where even the buy list from the Star Cities or Channel Fireballs, they went from that price range to almost 400. I'm seeing prices of Underground Sea, $360, $325 for buy list. Holy crap, that's an 80% price swing from 6 months ago. That's massive, massive. So theory number two, Bitcoin crypto. There's gonna be another video coming out on this. Bitcoin crypto, the crypto world is starting to boom again, and people feel that reserveless and old school Magic directly correlates to the cryptocurrency universe, whatever specific coin you're following. With the reinflation, the increase in upticks of prices of all the coins, specifically Bitcoin being the largest, we're seeing Magic cards follow the same path. Number three, simply put, in a weak economy, a lot of the weak hands shedded their positions, and they went to a lot of stronger hands. And a lot of people feel that the market is dried up, and just a bunch of basement dwelling Rudies out there who simply just don't care, and they just want the cards, and they're absorbing them, and it's drying out the market. The quantity for sales is kind of reducing on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, which is putting upward pressure. You're squeezing the supply, which is pushing that price just being pushed and pushed upwards. Those are kind of the main reasons. The final one is what my personal reason is. So for these of you still watching, this is my opinion. I think all the other reasons I just named, those first few, I think all are playing a role, but I don't think they're the primary driver. In my opinion, and many of you have noticed this, in the last 6 months, we know for a fact most big stores pulled down their buy list. They didn't want the old cards. They didn't want expensive stuff. They were worried about their capital, liquidity. They wanted to keep cash. Cash is king, right? Well, now we're back to things moving again. So the term cash is king is not as important. It's kind of cash is trash type attitude. So, the mentality of everything continuously sways depending on the individual situation and your outlook on the world. I don't know if we're about to collapse into doomsday. We're going to get better. I don't know if we're going to stay the same. I'm not here to make predictions as an economist because I don't know. I've tried that stuff. I can't do it. Don't care. I can't predict the direction 12 months in the future. Nobody can. Anybody who tells you they can, they're lying to you or they're trying to steal your money. So I can't do it. I'm sorry. What I personally believe is happening is we're seeing the side effects of what happens when 6 to 9 months go by and all these big Magic stores across the country have no positions in these old Magic cards. Revised duels, reserve lists, ABU. None of these companies have any inventory. There's no positions in these old products. So suddenly, all these stores and things are kind of trying to reopen and get back to normal, and none of them have any inventory in this old stuff. Nothing. Go to the website. Look around. Look how much these stores have. Well, Rudy, they don't want to. There's no GP circuit. There's no Grand Prix. I'm sorry. Magic Fest. Remember, it's only important if you look up into the sky. Magic Fest. You know, that should be a meme. You know, you can say what you want, but in my opinion, what I think the uptick is happening is these stores, they need inventory. They need exposure. They need to have products for sale to attract customers, that are clientele that are looking for those era Magic cards. And we went so long where all these stores washed their hands of it, dumped their inventory, stopped buying, shut everything down, and they didn't touch it. And now everything's starting to move, and there's employees in these companies and the higher ups and the big shots in the ivory towers saying, hey, little Timmy, where's our inventory? Well, we don't have any, sir. You told me not to buy anything for a while. Well, get some inventory. So they're raising buy lists to attract more people to sell them their cards. They're trying to absorb some from the market. And we're seeing a lot of upward pressure in revised dual lands specifically. And I think personally, my opinion, the number one driving factor, and the other things I listed are, those are factors. But I think the strongest of the factors is these large companies and stores are trying to get their positions. They don't have any inventory. Go to these things. Go to these Star Cities and Card Kingdoms and Channel Fireballs and cool stuffs. Look at all these websites. The inventory is the lowest I've ever seen in the 10 years I've been tracking these websites. I mean, since 2008 was probably the last time I saw an inventory drop like this. But this is unprecedented. I've never seen Magic stores that have been around for 25 plus years have literally no inventory. You hit Alpha, nothing. Hit Arabian Nights, oh look, there's 1 or 2 cards. Nothing. The inventory is so bad, it blows my mind. And I think that is what's driving. And that, I think, is something none of us saw coming. I didn't see this coming. And I think this is exactly the catalyst that's going to turn into the next reserve list boom. And I think it's here. I think it's coming quicker than we think. And I'm starting to see daily reserve list buyouts and spikes are happening again. And some of these things are insane. Look at the price of Gwendolyn. Are you kidding me? Look at the price of the band cards. Look at the price of random Legends cards, Weatherlight cards, Tempest, Stronghold, Exodus card. Across the board, we're seeing reserve list buyouts everywhere again. And I need to start covering this to be on top of it, because I don't think people are aware that the tide has shifted so quickly. But I knew when we started seeing, I remember a couple months ago I made a video talking about the reserve list and everything kind of bottomed. Everything was trending sideways. You guys remember those videos? I made like 2 or 3 videos saying we're not seeing upticks or downticks. We're going through a consolidation phase in early to mid. It was like around between March and maybe about June of this year. And I remember a lot of people saying, I'm going to start building my positions. I had patrons say, yeah, I've noticed that the prices seem to be balanced now. And I told you, those are the times you want to build your position. And a lot of people made fun of me. Oh, look at Rudy telling people to buy now. We're going to have another leg down. The market's going to drop. And now we're seeing again, as these big entities try to gobble up inventory, I'm telling you, we are entering the next reserve list movement. And that movement is up. I think the days of the super cheap stuff from 6 months ago are over with. I think the collectible world continues forward. No, I don't think we're in a bubble. And I also think, like I said earlier, the catalyst between frustrated people, higher prices on new cards is going to start driving money to old stuff. Cryptocurrency, the crypto world, the Bitcoin world. BitConnect! No, not BitConnect. The crypto world is driving a lot of profits. That money's going to go after old school Magic. And again, I just think these are the perfect storm to line up the next move for reserve list upticks. And we're seeing buyouts across the board. Look at the Urza's cards. Saga, Legacy, Destiny. Insane. Look at Revised Duels. Look at Legends. This stuff is on the move. I want to make sure I'm covering it. If these are things you like, keep an eye on it. These are things you don't like, no big deal. But it's fascinating to watch because this is going to be a big move. And I think it's going to stay going into next year. That's all I have. Have a great day. Be safe out there. And man, 2020 marches on.